Greetings, our Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. This is L.D. Smith, the watchman on the wall. Your watchman, Israel. Sons and daughters of Zion. It is our Sabbath. Grab that King James. But first and foremost, my brothers and sisters, we want to give a shout out to the whole family. Happy Sabbath, Israel. Now, that being said, we're going to go right into our teaching, my brothers and sisters. We got a fine teaching. We got a wonderful teaching. And my brothers and sisters, as always, I always ask you guys to read along and listen to what you're reading. Think about it. Think about it. And this is something that I'm certain. You know, the Most High says that the secret things belong to the Lord. But those things which are revealed belong to his children. All right? Now, I want you guys to read along, and I want you to think about it. And I know that the Most High will give you a clear understanding. Now, my brothers and sisters, now we know, you know that we're waiting on Elijah, and we know that God deals with time. And I said something briefly about this in the last video about Ecclesiastes. There's a time for everything. And see, my brothers and sisters, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that everything will come to pass in its time. And my brothers and sisters, if you think about this right here, time deals with numbers. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, see, it's 2016 now. I mean, 2017. Now, back in the 60s, in the 50s, in the 20s and stuff, there was a lot of things that went on with our people. And even so today, there's still a lot of things that is going on. You know, mistreatment, you know, being done wrong. You know, all these things are still occurring. Maybe they may not be as drastic as they were before, but nevertheless, they are still present. But what I'm dealing with here now is time and numbers. And my brothers and sisters, if you think about it, all I ask you to do is just think about it. Nothing stays the same. Nothing stays the same. And if you look around you in your everyday life, you're dealing with numbers. You're dealing with numbers. And if you leave one number, you go to another number. I mean, it is simple as that right there. You know, and like I say, there is an end to all things concerning us in this dispensation of time. There's an end. And my brothers and sisters, I am glad to say, I don't know the exact date. No, I don't. The Most High had not revealed to me that. But he did show me that I was alive the day that he came back. I got it wrote down in my journal. He showed me that back in 1996. I didn't realize what it was, but you know, as time went on, he began to reveal, you know, different things and keep on revealing different things. Then now I know what I saw. I know exactly what I saw. But anyway, like I say, we're going to be dealing with here, dealing with things that deals with time. And then how the Most High pleaded with our ancestors. See, if anybody thinks about it, Jesus saying that, now this is for the Christians. Jesus saying that he came from the Most High and that he's the Most High Son, and then he said that he is the Most High. When did Jesus at any time plead with the so-called Jews? I'm saying plead with him like I'm gonna show you tonight how the Most High pleaded with Israel. It never occurred. Never. He was too busy trying to overturn everything that the Most High have said. Now let us go here in their book, and then as we go through the Old Testament, the Most High's holy word, we're going to show you, we're going to point out some things here and point out some things there, you know. We're going to show you that there's a clear-cut difference between the New Testament and the Old Testament. And that there is a reckoning day for those that have did Israel wrong. You got to pay for that. I mean, not only Israel, but there are others that have to pay for things that they have done to different ones. You got to pay for that. You're not just gonna just skip to the loo, my darling. You know what I mean? That old bullshit. You know, and then everything gonna be all right. Well, you ought to get no. It don't. It doesn't work just like that. No, you got to pay for that. But it was all well and good when the ball was bouncing over on your side of the court. That's what I tell them all the time about karma. You know, these stupid ass motherfuckers, they always holler about karma. Karma this and karma that. But do you not know that karma has to come home and roost at your fucking table sooner or later? For the bullshit that you have done? Huh? Some need to think. I mean, honestly, they walk around here oblivious, you know, to about what they have done, but when it comes to somebody else, they're soon to point it out. But they did this, they did that, he did this, or she did that. But what about what you did? And see, I'm talking about the enemy, and I'm also talking about those that are Hebrews. Yeah. But see, they always talk about the enemy got to pay, but there are some that are going to pay for what they did to their brothers and their sisters. They think that, well, it's just water up on the bridge. I beg you the difference. No, sir. But let us go here into our teaching, and I'm going to show you in the Word of God that this New Testament does not have any correlations at all with the Old Testament. Now let's go here. We're going to look at Matthew, the 19th chapter. Let us look at verses 20. Let's look at verses 26 and on down to verse 30. It says, But Jesus beheld them and said unto them, With man this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. That's true. That's very true. But when we get on down here, I'm gonna show you how much shit Jesus is full of. Now let's keep on going. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we there have therefore? And Jesus said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the generation, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And my brothers and sisters, I know we talked about this on another occasion, but do you see how stupid this is? How can someone that he picked up, crooks, tax collectors, one that was there, one that was so-called stealing from the people, and then he put them and make them to judge over God's holy people? That couldn't be further from the truth. And I'm gonna show you in God's holy word. This here would never happen. Not in this life, neither the life to come. Now look what he says. See, Jesus always promised his followers all kind of bullshit. And even though he can't deliver on none of them, on any of them, but he does all his promising. Now let's keep on going here. And everyone that has forsaken house, or brother, or sister, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or land, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Now, my brothers and sisters, I don't know what he's talking about here. I don't. But do you see how he disrupted the family? I mean, you can clearly see here. How can he say this right here, and then the Most High was all about family? That's how the Most High rolled with the family of Israel. He said that out of all the other families upon the face of the earth, I only love you. That's what he said. I mean, I can't pull it up right now, but I know it's somewhere, I think, around about in the book of Deuteronomy there, you know, somewhere in that area. But he said that out of all other families upon the face of the earth, he said, only you have I love. See, so the Most High is about family structure. But here Jesus is saying that you got to forsake all these for him. But now, as the Christian, as any of the Christians, have they forsaken their mother, their brother, well, probably so, or their sister, some of them. I mean, the list goes on and on. But they didn't forsake them for Jesus' sake. They didn't. That's just how the Most High rolled. The Most High have them all arguing and going back and forth all day long. But yet and still, he's telling the family him that they got to forsake one another in order to follow him. How can that be in the structure? How can that be in the structure if all of them, are forsaking one another to follow after him? And that doesn't make any sense at all to me. Then he promised them that many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. What does he mean by that? Does he mean that God's going to cast off Israel and then going to bring in somebody else? Oh, I mean, what is he trying to say? I mean, I don't see what he's saying here. Why did he make this statement? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. But I know one thing. The Most High said that a mother might forget her children, but he says he will never forget Israel. As a matter of fact, he said, you are engraved in the palm of my hand. Every time I look at my hand, I see you. So how can I forget you? So I know he's not talking about the Most High here. I don't know what in the hell he's talking about. But anyway, let's go to the book of Hosea. Let's go there real quick, my brothers and sisters, and let's see what how the Most High here pleads and deals with his people. Let's go to Hosea, the 4th chapter, and we're going to begin with verse 1 here. Now, we're going to show you here that God is the only one that judges his people. The only one. God doesn't let nobody else judge his people. He'll use somebody else to punish his people. But in the end, God is the ultimate judge of his people. Now let's go here a little further. Now come on. Look at what it says in Hosea chapter 4. Verse 1, it says, hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth or mercy, nor knowledge of God in the land. See that? God has a controversy here. You know what I mean? God said, this here is not going to happen here. I don't like that. No. What you're doing, I disagree with that. Now look what he says here. He said, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood touches blood. Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish, with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven. Yea, the fish of the sea also shall be taken away. See that? The Most High say He's gonna take everything away because of what you're doing and what you have done. He said, yet let no man strive nor reprove another. For thy people are as they that strive with the priests. Yeah, they strive with the priests. And look what he says to him. Because the people are just like the priests. They are. I mean, those that that are truly follow behind them other ones out there, they are just like the one that they listen to. Because they come on the page and say all kind of crazy ass things, talking about Psalms 2 verses 1 through 9 and talking about that's Jesus. And my brothers and sisters, if you went to the 5th grade, I learned this in the 5th grade. There in Psalms chapter 2 there, when the narrator is talking about me, David he's the psalmist, and he's writing the psalmist about himself. When he says me, he can't be talking about Jesus. He can't be. I mean, but when a person does not read for themselves, or either they just don't know what me and he and they means, when you say he and they, you're talking about somebody else, but when you say me, you're talking about yourself. Jesus would have had to write the psalmist in Psalms 2 for that to apply to him. He didn't write it. This is David's psalm, not Jesus. Then Psalms 101 over there. 110. I think that's what it is. When he talks about tell my Lord to sit down here, and as he makes your enemy his footstool. Some need to go and watch some of the old English movies, then they will understand. In the old English movies, they talk to their king all the time, or either the one that's over them. They say, thank you, my Lord this, my Lord that. They're not talking about Jesus. They're talking about somebody who's in authority, not Jesus, a king. That's who they call me Lord, not Jesus. But like if you're ignorant and you are only locked up in that little 4-corner box that you're in, that little general area or that vicinity that you live in, you just never go outside there, you'll never know anything. And anybody can tell you, well, yeah, that's talking about Jesus, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm talking to you, to the ones that come in the page and talking about Psalms 110, either 101, talking about that scripture. All you gotta do is just go into the library and then just ask them to show you some old English movies, and then you'll see it. It's right there. It's clear cut. But if you only stay in that little box and then keep going to that same little broke down church, listen to that little pencil stick up there, so-called behind he or she, behind their sacred desk, you'll never know anything. You won't. And they can tell you any damn thing, and you'll go along with it, and then you come on the page and be so certain that you know what you're talking about, and your ass is lost as a ball in high weeds. I mean, just come on, what about this and what about that? Like you know something. You don't know nothing. All you're doing is going by what somebody else has rehashed to you that didn't know a damn thing. The Old Testament never speaks anything about Jesus at any time. Not one time. Now let's keep on going now. We see here, we stopped here at verse 3. Now let's go ahead on down to verse 4. He said, let no man strive. No, okay, we did that one. He says, therefore shalt thou fall in the day, and the prophets also shall fall with thee in the night. And I will destroy thy mother. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. And it is. They are destroyed because they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know who they are. They are destroyed. And see, let me say this in passing. We had an ice storm here about 3 weeks ago. And I was going out to work, and for some reason, the Most High kept me. I just couldn't get it together. I was looking for stuff in here, but before I went out, to get my keys and stuff like that, because I know I had to scrape the windows and whatnot. But anyway, I just couldn't get out the house. And finally, I got out. And I went out there and started scraping off the car and whatnot. To make a long story short, there was a car that was coming down a street that my street comes into And we still in the subdivision. He coming down, bebopping down there around about 20 miles an hour, and it's nothing but a sheet of ice. And I'm saying to myself, how in the world can he be doing that? He got to be out of his mind. But anyway, I leaves on out behind him, and I go out there to the main road, and look what I see. I see about 10 cars out there, all turned over in the bushes, all down in the ditch and whatnot. That was the Most High with his destroyer out there. He kept me from out there because he knew that he had sent his destroyer. Now, nobody really got seriously injured or killed. But there were other parts of the city that there was some major damage did. But see, the Most High will have his destroyer out there. And see, like if you don't know about the Most High's destroyer, you get messed up. See, that's why I try to stress and tell anyone that comes on our page that listen to us, we teach a whole new different way. And if you hear anything like what we're teaching, they came here and got it and went back and tried to teach it. No one is saying what we're saying. Nobody. And women say, well, are you being arrogant? No. We have had people that have came back and told us, hey, look, this is my first time here. I ain't never heard nothing like this. And I've been all out there. I've been in the camps. I've been everywhere. See, so I know that ain't nobody saying what we're saying. And if they are, they're going back. And my brother and sister, look, we have individuals that come every week. Twice a week. They get what they want to get, then they leave and go back and try to teach it. I mean, but that's the Most High. If they're benefiting from it, then, I mean, that's the Most High. But our goal here is that we're not going to charge our sisters and brothers nothing. Because the word explicitly tells me that it belongs to you. And for me to do something otherwise, I'll be going against the Most High. So I'm afraid of him. I mean, not only that, I would never try to charge my sisters and brothers for nothing. It doesn't belong to me anyway. It belongs to the Most High. He gave to me to give to his children. Now, let's go here a little further here. We're going to keep on going. Now, we see here, he said, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. He said, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest. See, he's talking about Levi. See, he's dealing with Levi here. And the children of Levi. Who's the children of Levi? The children of Israel. And we told you guys about that in other videos. I told you guys here previously, when he talks about the Benjamites, he calls them the Benjamites. He talks about Judah, he talks about Judah. I mean, all of them have a name. But now how can you say that and then say that when you talk about the children of Israel, he's talking about everybody? That doesn't make any sense at all. But we have them come, and then try to argue their point. But like I say, we have completed phase 1. And phase 2 is coming very shortly. And we got phase 3, and then we got phase 4. And then everything will be just right. But we're going to go here on a little further. But you can see here that he's talking about Levi and the children of Israel. Right? Now, let us keep on going. He says, a latter part of verse 6, he says, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. See, we told you guys that the only one that the law was given to was who? The priests. The priests handled the law and the kings. Not just the common Joe. It wasn't given to the common Joe. It was given to the ones that rule over you. And they handed it down. Now let's keep on going. He says, I will also forget thy children. As they were increased, so they sinned it against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. They eat up the sin of my people, and they set their hearts on their iniquity. And they shall be like people, like priests. And I will punish them for their ways and reward them their doing. See that? The Most High says, I'm doing the judging. Nobody else. Nobody else can judge God's people but God. That's just like you as a family, a husband and wife, and you guys have children. You're not going to let somebody else judge your child, tell your child what to do. You're going to tell your child what to do, and you can tell them, look, don't be going over there, listen at that bullshit over there. You know what I mean? You stay in this house. As long as you stay in this house, you're going to do what I say do. That's the way the ball will bounce. Now let's keep on going. And the Most High the same way. Now let's keep on going down here. Let's look at verses 10. He says, for they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off and taken heed to the Lord. Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. My people ask counsel at their stalk, and their staff declared unto them. For the spirit of whoredom has caused them to err, and they have gone a horn from under their God. Right there. And see, that's what causes judgment to fall upon you, because you leave your God. But see, we're in captivity now, and the Most High promised us that you will serve another God. That's why they keep on calling on Jesus, and nothing never happens. Nothing never transpires. They holding hands, having a prayer meetings here and prayer meetings there, and standing on the corner, talking to the four corners of the city, speaking to the wind, and all kind of old foolish ass shit. And then crime is this year here in the city I live in was was the most deadliest year of all. I mean, it was almost as bad as Chicago. They killing one every day. Started New Year off, I think it was the 5th. They hadn't killed 3 or 4. Starting off a new year to them. But like I said in previous video, the Most High gonna do what he wanna do. He gonna keep on killing them, and then they holler about, well, we gonna be safe because we got a new mayor and we got this and we got that. Listen, they fooling y'all head full of a bunch of bullshit. When the Most High wants somebody dead, he'll send somebody out there to do it. That's right. And now they are talking about this guy was down in Fort Lauderdale at the airport. He said that someone was talking to him in his head. That was the Most High. I mean, I can't. I mean, see, if a person never had that to happen to them, then they'll be skeptical about it and say, oh, no. But see, like people that know that's true, and it's even in the pages of God's holy word. Listen, God will have spirits talking to you and telling you about shit to do. And you know that, you're struggling with it, but you'll find yourself doing it. Why? Because that's his pleasure. He says, I do all to my pleasure. That's his entertainment. You on stage performing for him, and that's his pleasure. But many don't want to agree with it, but it's right in the pages. I mean, I'm not making up anything. I show it to you over and over. We go scriptures over and over, and then sometimes people just don't get it. They want to hold on to Christianity, and Christianity is going to be your demise. I mean, if you go back to the garden and you see where Adam wasn't on his job, and he let the ones that came in and mess with the tree and whatnot, and then told him he was naked, told him about the difference between good and evil, stuff like that, and then God had to put him out. But see, God knew man wasn't ready for that. But that knowledge that came out of the garden, that's man's demise. It is. Because it wasn't for him to know And see, like I tell them all the time, they come on this page talking about, well, what about these lost books they found? What about, listen, let me tell you one thing. How in the hell can something be lost on somebody else's property? This proper dirt belonged to the Most High. It wasn't lost. He knew exactly where it was. Well, these are the lost books. And listen, let me tell you something. You're getting stuff that he does not want you to have. If he wants you to have it, he'll put it out there where you can get it. But like when you call yourself stumbling across it, he showed it to you. Why? Because he abhors you. That's why you got it. And they keep on running here and running there. Well, we found it Dead Scrolls. We found this book. You ain't found nothing. You hadn't found nothing. Because think about this right here. Somebody had to put it there. You didn't put it there. So how could it be lost for you to find it? That's my question. You looked and there was something. And you say, oh, well, it was lost. No, it wasn't. It wasn't lost because the person that put it there knew where it was at. You didn't know where it was at. You didn't know it was there. But anyway, I just thought I'd, throw that in there. I'm telling you, there's so much stuff going on out there, that I have started to see come across the internet. I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy. Why can't you just sit down and just take what the Most High has given you? He's giving you this. And like I said, I was talking with the Rib too. And like I told him, I said, nobody can tell me, show me at any time where any prophet of God or teacher of God, went to another teacher and asked him, or either went to those that wasn't a teacher and asked them, what should I do about the Most High? What do you think about this? The Most High? No. That's why I tell you guys, I don't go nowhere and get my stuff from nobody but this King James here. And that's not being arrogant. I'm telling you where I'm getting mine from. Now, just because you think like Western civilization have taught you, that's on you. But you can't show me in any scripture of the Old Testament where Moses went and asked Aaron nothing at any time. He didn't ask him anything. When the Most High told Moses what to do, Moses went and did it. All down through, those that was dealing with the Most High, when the Most High told them something, that was the end of it. They didn't go down to a person who they was over. I mean, and then say, well, what do you think I'll do about this? The Most High told me this right here. If the Most High called you to be a leader or a teacher, he's telling you what he wants you to tell the people. Okay? So, one may get, angry with me, but like I say, we don't care about that here. I mean, the only one that I care about is my people. I care about them, but these others that come on the page talking about this and that, I don't care about your feelings. I don't care what you think. I don't. I do not care what you think. You know what I mean? So you are mad because you can't say your opinion and this and that. That's phase one. Like I said, see, the Most High is making these changes. And like I say, it's not me, it's the Most High. And see, there has to be structure, there has to be order. And see, God is continually revealing His word to us here. And we are here for the people. But like I say, there's a lot of them out there that listen to us that are not the Most High's people. I know that. You guys know it. Why? Because we're public. But in a time one think that they can disrupt it, then they're gonna try. But like I said, the Most High is in control. But let's keep on going here. We see here that the Most High is the one that is gonna judge his people. Now let's go to Jeremiah real quick. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 2. I'm watching my brothers and sisters. Jeremiah chapter 2. Let's look at verses 1 through 13. Well, let's read all of them. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Go and cry in the ear of Jerusalem, saying, Thus saith the Lord, I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth, the love of thine spouse, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown. Now he's telling him here that I remember you when I first started establishing you, bring you out of Egypt, when you followed me out in the wilderness. Yeah, by a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. Yeah, you followed me. Now look what he says here. Israel was holiness unto the Lord, and the first fruit of his increase. All that devour him shall offend, evil shall come upon them, said the Lord. Hear ye the word of the Lord, O house of Jacob, and all the families of the house of Israel. He's talking about all of them now. He said, Thus saith the Lord, what iniquity have your fathers found in me, that they are gone far from me, and have walked after vanity, and are become vain. Now he's asking, talking about the elders, what iniquity have they found in me? What's wrong with me that they're going to go off and start, looking for something else? As they say, always be looking for something better. Now you got a pot of gold here, but you're still not satisfied. You always have to look for something better. Wrong thing to do. Wrong thing to do. See, because sooner or later you're gonna mess up and lose that pot of gold for that out there, and that is number fool's gold. But let's keep on going here, and look what he says here. He says, Thus saith the Lord. Okay, we read that in verse 5. Let's read 6. He said, Neither said they, Where is the Lord that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, that led us through the wilderness, through a land of desert and of pits, though a land of drought and of shadow of death, through the land that no man passeth, and where no man dwelleth. He says, And I brought you into a plenteous country, to eat the fruit thereof and the goodness thereof. But when ye entered, ye defiled my land and made my heritage an abomination. The priest said not, Where is the Lord? And they that handled the law knew me not. See that? The one that was in the one that was over the people. When they came in, they just forgot all about the Most High. Didn't even ask where he was at, nothing. He says, The pastors also transgressed against me, and the prophets prophesied by Baal, and walked after things that do not profit. Wherefore I will yet plead with you, saith the Lord, and with your children's children will I plead. Now my question to anybody out there, these are the Most High's words. Where in the New Testament that Jesus ever plead with the so-called Jews at any time? I mean, plead with them before he, brought judgment on them. It's not there. Only the Most High can bring judgment. Now look what he said. Jesus, he talked about this long projection about what he's coming back on a horse and he gonna bring judgment. No, he ain't gonna bring back shit. He sure ain't. Now, let's go ahead on. Let's keep on going. Now he says, For pass over the isles of Chittim and see, and send unto Kendar, and consider diligently, and see if there be such a thing. Hath the nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods, but my people have changed their glory for that which does not profit. And see, that we are stiff-necked people. Israel, they always want to go out there after something else, look for something else, talking about always trying to find something better, and leaving the Most High. Now look what he says there. He's telling you that the other people out there with their God, they ain't leaving their God. They're not. They're right there with their God. But Israel, oh foolish Israel, they're the ones. He said, go out there and check them out. They ain't worried about leaving their God. They love their God. They're serving their God. But only, oh foolish Israel, is the one that's looking across, looking to see if the grass greener on the other side. Right in the pages. And look what he says here. Be astonished, verse 12, O heaven, at this, and be horribly afraid. Be ye very desolate, saith the Lord. For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living water, and hewed them out sisters, broken sisters, that can't even hold water. See that? They don't even hold water. I mean, give up gold for broken glass. My brothers and sisters, it's right in the pages. Can we see how our ancestors were? And the Most High plead with them. But let's keep on going here. Let's go to Micah. Let's go to Micah here. And watch here, my brothers and sisters. We're gonna find Micah here in a minute. Okay. Let's go to Micah here. All right, let's go to Micah. M-I-C-A-C-H, Micah. Let's look at verses 6. We're going to read a few verses out of here. It says, Hear ye now what the Lord saith, arise, contend, thou be for the mountains, and let the hills hear thy voice. Hear ye, O mountains, the Lord's controversy, and ye strong foundations of the earth. For the Lord hath a controversy with his people, and he will plead with Israel. O my people, what have I done unto thee? And wherein have I worried thee, testifying against me? See that? The Most High has such great love for his people. Even when they err, when they go way out in left field, he comes and he pleads with them. What have I done? Well, I mean, this is a God who can just wipe your ass out just like that. I mean, you'll be nothing. He can start all over. But he has such great love for his people. He come to me, plead with. You see, why are you doing this? What have I done to you? Instead of we asking him, what have we done to him? He's coming down saying, what have I done for you to act like a damn fool? It's right here. He says, for I brought thee up out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed thee out of the house of servants. And I sent before thee Moses, Aaron, and Mary. Now right here, I mean, can a person just see the love that the Most High have for his people? First he asked him, he said, what have I done to you for you to do me the way that you're doing? Not only that, he said, do you not know that it was me? I brought you up. Not you came from your own, but I brought you up with a mighty hand out of the land of Egypt. He goes on, he says, oh my people, remember now what Balak, king of Moab, consulted, and what Balaam, the son of Beor, answered him from Shittim unto Gilgal, that ye may know the righteousness of the Lord. Wherewith shall I come before the Lord and bow myself before the high God? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with calves of a year old? Will the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams, or with 10,000 of ravens of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sins of my soul? He hath showed thee, O man, what is good. See that? Now check this out. Check this out. And what doeth the Lord require of thee, but to justly and to love mercy and to walk humble with thy God. I did a teaching on being humble about 5 weeks ago. I told you, God wants you to be humble to him, not another man. Be humble to him. We get out of line with what we want to be, all of this other stuff. See, God is the one that rules supreme. Okay? You owe him. You walk humble to him, not to another man. He goes on here. We're gonna read on down to verse verse 8 here. Let's read that again. He says, what hath shown thee, O man, what is good, and what doeth the law require of thee? Now all this other stuff up here, I don't want that. I don't want that. This is what I want. He says, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God. Right there in the pages. See that? The Most High pleaded with our ancestors. Pleaded with them. And he asked them, what have I done for you to act like this? Why? Why are you carrying on like this? Everything that you got, I gave it to you. Now let's keep on going now. Let's go to Psalms 50. Let's go to Psalms 50 real quick. Let's go to Psalms 50. And let's see what the Most High says. We're going to read a few verses out here and then we're going to keep on going. Psalms 50, let's look at, let's just read all of this right now. Let's go from Psalm 50, let's read from verse 4 to, verse 1 down to 14. It says, the mighty God, even the Lord, has spoken and called the earth from the rising of the sun unto the going down thereof. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God has shined. Our God shall come and shall not keep silent. A fire shall devour before him. It shall be very tempest round about him. He shall call to the heavens from above and the earth, and that he may judge his people. See that? The Most High is the only one that's going to judge us. Nobody else. Now let's keep on going. He said, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. See that? Remember over there in Exodus, I think it's Exodus 3 verses 13, 14, and 15. When he's talking that to him, he tell me, he said, this is my name forever. I am that I am. See, that was a covenant that he made with Abraham, Isaac, and it came down Isaac and Jacob, and then their seeds. That covenant is still in place now. Now let's keep on going. And the heavens shall declare his righteousness, for God is judge himself. End of story. God is judge. Not Paul, Peter, James, none of them. The Most High is judge by himself. It's clear cut right here. Now let's keep on going here. For time's sake, let's go here to Isaiah. Isaiah 33. Let's go there real quick. Isaiah 33. Let's go there. Real quick, let's go there. Isaiah 33. Let's look at verses 20, 22. It says, for the Lord is our judge, the Lord is our lawgiver, the Lord is our king. He will save us. See that? The Most High is the one that's doing all this for his people. Nobody else. God is not going to let another man judge his people. That would make them be gods. That would make them be just like him. And my brothers and sisters, that couldn't be further from the truth. Now let's go and look at Isaiah chapter 3. Now let's keep on going here. Isaiah chapter 3. Now watch this right, my brothers and sisters. Isaiah chapter 3, let's read verses 1, 2, and 3. Look what it says here. It says, for behold, the Lord of hosts, doeth take it, that's what I want, doeth take it away from Jerusalem and from Judah, and stay, and the staff, the whole stay of bread, and the whole stay of water, the mighty men and the men of war, the judge and the prophets and the prudence and the ancients. See, he's giving you a structure of order here. Those that are up under him. But the Most High is the ultimate judge. He is the judge. These here just working in offices up under him, but nobody else. Now let's keep on going. Let's look at let's go to Exodus 15. See, because we need to understand that the Most High, He is terrible. Let's look at Exodus 15. Now we're gonna read it from Exodus 15, 1 on down to verses. Well, let's read on down to verse 3. It says, then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he has triumphantly glorious. The horse and his riders hath he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and my song, and he is become my salvation. He is my God, and I will what? Prepare him an habitation. My father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. See that? The Most High starts all kind of fights. He does. He is the man of war. He says, I make war, I make peace, I make evil, I make darkness, I make light. I, the Lord, do all these things. You know, like I said in my other video, if I can get you to just to see that, you will see that there's no other entities that are doing anything. The Most High, He's in control. And see, at the end of days, everyone is going to see that the Most High, He is the one that is ruling. Jesus ain't done nothing. All that New Testament is nothing but rubbish, nothing but trash. And I just want to show you guys something that we talked about on the other day. But I'll get to that in a minute. Let's go to Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah 45. Let's go to it real quick, my brothers and sisters. I'm going to show you something here. Isaiah 45. Let's look at verses 21 and 22. See, because the Christians, they're looking unto Jesus, and Jesus can't save them. He can't. I mean, I pound away. I try to show them, and they just relentless. They won't give up. But the Most High is going to come back and destroy them. Now let's go here, and let's look at this right here now. Let's look at Isaiah 45, one of our favorite scriptures. We're going to read 21, and we can just read on down, okay, to verse 25. It said, tell ye, bring them near, and let them take counsel together, who had declared this from ancient time. See that? He said, get everybody together, and then ask them, who have said this from way back, ancient time. Now look what he's saying here now. He says, who has told it from that time? Have not I the Lord? It's been me from the beginning. It ain't been nobody else. I ain't changed nothing. It's been me from the beginning. Look what he says here. There is no God else besides me, a just God and a Savior. There is none beside me. He says, look unto me and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth, for I am God and there is none else. I mean, why can't an individual understand that? Why can't they understand that? You will read this. Listen, I had some folks to come over one day, and I was talking to him, myself and the rib, and we was trying to show them about God and Jesus. And I showed them some scriptures, where Moses seen God on several occasions. Abraham seen him and stuff like that. And I showed them over there in John, where John said nobody ever seen Jesus. Nobody ever seen the Most High but Jesus. I said, now how can that be? And I asked him, I said, well, you read it? Yeah, I read it, but I don't believe it. I said, you just read that Moses seen God face to face, spoke with him face to face, and you said, yeah, I read it, but I don't believe it. But you believe this bullshit in the New Testament. Yeah, but yeah, I read it, but I don't believe it. And I'm saying to myself, how can that be? And believe me, I love them to death, but they just won't. Some people are just not gonna get it. Why? I have no idea. It's right in the pages. It says here, ain't nobody else but me. He said, I've been saying this from way back. Way back. This ain't nothing just started. I've been saying this. He said, look unto me and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth, because I am God. There's none else. He said, I have sworn by myself. Nobody with me. I don't need nobody to help me do a damn thing. I'm doing it by myself. He said, the words is going out of my mouth. Out of my mouth. Not out of let us, because let us is not dealing with this now. He says, I am talking about me, myself. And all the other spirits that he had working for him, the creative spirit and stuff like that, he told us to go out and do different things. They on the sideline now. Okay, the Most High is talking now about himself. Look what he says to him. I swore by myself. The words are going out of my mouth. In righteousness. And shall not return. He said, I done said that. I can't change it now. And not only that, what I said is right. It ain't wrong, it's right. It goes on. Look what he says to him. He says, and all that are increased against him shall be ashamed. In the Lord shall all the seed of Israel be justified and shall glory. Now my question is right now. Anybody with any kind of common sense, if you just read this right here, what do you need Jesus for? Why would you even need Jesus? How could anybody else tell you anything else? To persuade you and change your mind from what you had just read and tell you that there's another God, that Jesus can save you and Jesus forgive you for your sin. Why would you let somebody tell you that? It's right here in the pages. My brothers and sisters, I don't know what else we read it over and over. We pound away and show over and over, and they still will come on the page and say all kind of crazy ass shit. They still want to post stuff about Jesus. Now I'm gonna show y'all guys something here that we was talking about in another class. Let's go to 1 Peter. I'm gonna show you guys something. We talked about this last week over here. 1 Peter. Let's look at chapter 2 and 9. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 9. We're gonna start there. Now, I want you guys to think about this right here. This is what all the Christians say that they are. Now, any of you guys know that been with us anytime. We did the teachings about the Levites and about the children of Israel, and we showed you guys that if you are a priest's son or daughter, you cannot go outside the priesthood. You got to marry somebody that is in that family. You can't go outside the family. Now, my question to anybody that has any questions at all and can't understand this, something has to be wrong with you. Now, look what it says in verse 9. We in chapter 2 of 1 Peter. It says, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. Now how in the hell can all these people call themselves so-called that's grafted in, y'all be of a priesthood? I mean, it's right in the pages. It doesn't take a person to go to college to understand this. You go back and read the book of Leviticus chapter 21. It'll tell you there that a priest, the children of a priest cannot go outside their family. So my question is, all these that are so-called grafted in, how can you come into the family of a priesthood? My brothers and sisters, you gotta see that's nothing more than bullshit. Now let's keep on going here. He says, a holy nation, a peculiar people that should show forth the praise of him who hath called you out of darkness into the marvelous light. Note the word that he used, should. Not that you will. Should. My brothers and sisters, I mean, one has to see that you can punch holes all through this bullshit. This is nothing. This is nothing but trash. And then he goes on, he says, which in time past were not people, but are now the people of God, which had not obtained mercy, but now have obtained mercy. Dearly beloved, I beseech ye, as strangers and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lust, wherewith war against the soul, having your conversation honest among the Gentiles. That, well, I'm not reading all that bullshit, but anyway, you guys see what I'm talking about here. Now I'm gonna jump on down here to verse 18 because I'm gonna do 16 on down, and I'm gonna show you. Now, if you look at the wording in here, I'm gonna show you how he is projecting slavery here in these scriptures. I mean, it's right in the pages. But see, they tell the Christians this so that you will be obedient, that you won't, rile up, and say, well, I don't want to. See, this is a part of, even though if your enemy despitefully use you, if he put his foot in your ass, you turn around and tell him, bless you. See that? That is so cruel. That is so untrue. Now let's continue here. And look what it says. It says in 16, as free and not using your liberty as a cloak or miscellaneous, but as the servant of God. Honor all men. All men. Honor all men. Does that make any sense to anybody at all out there? Hell no. You're going to honor your enemy, not me. He says, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the king. Servants, be subject unto your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the forward. In other words, your slave master can not be around, and then somebody else slave master can come up, and tell you what to do, and you got to do it. Even though he's being mean to you, he has a forward mouth. Yeah, you obey him. I mean, it's right in the pages. Christianity is based on nothing more than keeping you as a motherfucking fool and a slave, and want to trample over you and use you as a fucking doormat. But look here, it's right in the pages here. But that's not all that I'm talking about. I'm gonna get down into the meat of what I'm talking about here. And look what he says here. He says, 19 says, for this is thankworthy if a man for consents toward God endure grief, suffering wrongly. See that? For what glory is it if when ye be buffeted for your fault, ye shall take it patiently? But if when ye do willingly and suffer for it, ye take it patiently, this is acceptable unto God. What a fool. He said, for even hereunto were ye called. Now listen. Because Christ also suffered, leaving us leaving us an example, right? That we should follow his footsteps. Okay, Christ suffered, leaving you an example. Wasn't no guile found in his mouth and all this bullshit here and all this other bullshit. But look what it said. Who did no sin. And my question is, how many of y'all Christians have not done any sin? Because he left y'all that example. Remember? It's saying it right here. He said, neither was guile found in his mouth. Christians are some of the lyingest fuckers I've ever seen in my whole life. They are. They're some of the lyingest people. They do everything else out there that they call the world. They do it better than the people that don't even go to church. I know, I've been there. But anyway, let's look at something else here. Let's go to Hebrews real quick. Go to Hebrews, and then we're gonna close out for the night, my brothers. So we got one more scripture to go after this right here, and then we're gonna close out here. But we see how the Most High pleased with his people. It's right in the pages. Now let's look at Hebrews, the 13th chapter. Let's look at verse 17. It says, obey them that have rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch over your soul, as they that must give account, that they might do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. Now you see that. That's why the pastor be sleeping around with everybody in the church, sleeping around with the little young girls, doing all these things. I mean, it be on the news all the time because you fall for the okey-doke bullshit. Now, my question is this right now. Like I told you guys in one video that I seen here a while back, this lady preacher said, if your pastor tell you something that's even contrary to God, do what your pastor say do. How stupid is that? I mean, how stupid can a person be to put another man over the Most High God? Stupid. But anyway, let's go here a little further because we need to see something here. Let's look at. Let's look at Micah. Let's go back to Micah again. Let's go to Micah. Micah, the 7th chapter. Let's go to real quick. Micah, the 7th chapter. See, because they don't know, they got to pay for what they did, though. See, you got to pay for what you did. Now let's go to Micah here. I'll get it here in a minute. Let me get the pages here. Okay, Micah, the 7th chapter. Now let's look at this right here. Let's look at verses 15 through verse 20. It says, according to the days of thy coming out of the land of Egypt, will I show unto him marvelous things. Most High says, even from back there, bring you out. I showed you things that you never seen before. I showed you things that you never thought was even possible. He can do it again. And look what he says here. He said, the nations shall see and be confounded at all their might. They shall lay their hands upon their mouths, and their ears shall be deaf. They shall lick the dust like serpents. They shall move out of their holes like worms upon the earth. Now y'all know that they all talking about digging these little houses they got underground and whatnot. They are going in Cheyenne Mountains and all these other places, getting call themselves getting those places ready for the dignitaries to go in and hide. But ain't no hiding place from the Most High. It's not. Y'all got to pay for what y'all did. Y'all got to pay. Now let's keep on going. He says here, they shall be afraid of the Lord our God, and shall fear him because of thee. Who is a God like unto thee, that parteth iniquity, and passeth by the transgression of the remnant of his heritage? See that? God's not going to forget us. Look what it says, he retaineth not his anger forever, because he delighteth in his mercy. He will turn again. He will have compassion on us. See that? See that? That's why I tell you guys, you got to stay put. You got to wait. You wait on Elijah. The Most High says he's not going to stay angry with us always. He says, I sent you back into Egypt again by ships. I did that. It wasn't that they thought about doing that. I'm punishing you for what y'all did. But look, he says, I'm not going to go be angry with you always. And you know what? A real parent is the same way. A real parent, they may be angry with their child for a minute, but they're not going to be angry with their child always. How can you be angry with that child always? You know, and that child came from you, the father and the mother. But anyway, let's keep on going. He says, he retaineth not his anger forever, because he delighteth in mercy. He will turn again. He will have compassion upon us. He will subdue our iniquity, and thou wilt cast all their sins into the depth of the sea. Thou wilt perform the truth to Jacob and the mercy to Abraham, which thou hast sworn unto our fathers from the days of old. My brothers and sisters, it's right in the pages, just like I said. The Most High pleaded with Israel. Did Jesus ever plead with the Jews? Not one time. So you can see that there is no correlation there at all. But the Most High says, I'm not going to always be angry with you. That's why we're sitting here, we're waiting. We know that the day approaches fast, but we don't know what the date is. He have not told us that yet. I know that maybe some out there saying this and that. But look, the only thing that I can comment on is the black sun. And that I did. And that I will say again. And that Malachi says that he's going to send the sun before he comes. And he's going to burn up some shit. And he's going to send Elijah before he shows up. So my brothers and sisters, we hear a lot of no more than that. We just want you guys to be encouraged. We want you to stay the course. We want you to just hold fast to what we're saying and what the Most High is giving us. Because we're not going to go outside the Most High. We're going to give you His word, not our opinion or any of that. Like when I talk about the Son, it's right in the pages about Him sending His Son. So my sisters and brothers, we hear a lot of we wish this has been a blessing. And as always, we wish you a happy Sabbath. Until next time, shalom.